Barassi.
This is Barassi's 15th.
Dynamo Ron Barassi in the thick of all the heavy going.
Ball picks up, hand pass to Barassi. Barassi hooks it in. He shapes up, he shoots through an acute angle. Oh, remarkable!
There's Ron Barassi, no doubt one of the greatest coaches Australia's ever seen.
Welcome to Leonard Joel's Single Owner Collections. My name is John Albrecht. I'm the Managing Director of Leonard Joel, and it does give me great pleasure to introduce the Ron Barassi Collection. This collection is more than a sporting collection. It traverses the war periods, the golden era of Australian football and sport, intimate family moments, and indeed Australian history. I'd love to introduce you to the great man himself now, who will walk you through intimate moments in this important Australian collection. Thank you.
I don't know why I became a collector, but it's nice to have a history of yourself, I think. Most improved player.
As some people say that you have no idea where you're going unless you know where you've been, and I think Ron is a great believer in that.
I think you're looking at a snapshot into the golden age of football and the royalty of probably Australian football. This wonderful scrapbook is one of my absolute favourite pieces from the collection.
I haven't looked at this for years.
The photographs themselves, I mean, you could probably say it's also a golden age of sporting photography, and they're works of art in their own right.
I think I was in my third or fourth year. I was over in Hobart for a holiday with Mum, and Mum showed me her books. I mean, I knew she was doing some books, but I had no idea how good they were. You know. So I was very lucky that I had someone prepared to do those things.
It's a really charming other component to some of the more sort of serious elements of the collection.
1963, when Geelong and Melbourne decided to go across together, didn't they, to play matches against each other?
Yeah, we played in San Francisco and Honolulu, I think, and we beat. I think they were premiers that year.
Yes.
And we beat them both times, I think.
They didn't like that either.
No, well, they should.
Ron became the first truly national figure in terms of Australian football, where you would have people in Brisbane or Sydney who didn't know a drop punt from a behind post, who knew that Ron Barassi was a champion footballer in Melbourne and played for Melbourne Football Club.
24 and a half minutes into the last quarter.
Will you forget the tie these sides played in the final series a couple of years ago? Barassi goes for a run.
And now we see Ron Barassi kicking the first goal of the game, and
Trying to regain his feet in time, and his composure, the ball coming out here. Oh, there's a hard punch traded by Kennedy towards Barassi. It seems to spur Barassi on, and Barassi ends up in the gutter.
This is really moving to investigate this situation. These three medallions belong to Ron Barassi Senior, Ron's father. He was a very good footballer with Melbourne in the late 1930s, and at the beginning of World War II enlisted in the army and had action in Trebrook, where he lost his life.
I can still remember how my mother cried when the news came. I still get emotional about it. It was a 1940 premiership, so my father's name would be there.
His father's influence was something that, you know, was all overarching throughout his life and still today, and so it's very significant to have these pieces that are from Ron Barassi Senior himself.
He has a great sense of history itself, particularly in football, but he has always had a great vision of what football should be like as time unfolds. And
Len Smith, Norm Smith.
was there any particular person in your very young days who taught you the skills? Was it Norm or was it someone else?
No, Norm.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, I know I was one of the luckiest players ever in that I was with a team that was doing tremendously well. I mean Melbourne Melbourne now is a good example of what I'm talking about. They haven't won a premiership in 50 years, and we won 6.
Ron, one of the premiership medallions. That's 1964, and that was a proud moment for you to lift the cup.
Well, the beauty of having such a wealth of material to work with is that there's an extraordinary variety of items, and so there'll be items that could within reach of mum and dad collectors, younger collectors, also then the more institutional collectors.
One really fascinating set of volumes of the record relate to the 1916 season. It's in the middle of World War I. This is the only set that I've ever come across, even at League headquarters.
Amazing man, amazing collection, and a terrific legacy for Australia.
I don't think anything can match this in its range. Just the quantity, the quality, and just the range of interests. It's truly amazing.